Action News has obtained new emails that suggest Kevin Orr and his former law firm were a package deal handpicked by the governor long before any formal approval.
Now, was that process transparent as Orr promised it would be? And how does it affect the bankruptcy? Let's get right to 7 Action News reporter Jim Kirchner for some answers here. A story you'll see only on 7.
The emails are new and a closer look than what we've seen in the past, and they were obtained by AFSCME, the largest union in the city of Detroit, in one of the state lawsuits they have challenging the emergency manager.
We don't need our public officials operating in the dark.
February 12th, email from the governor's right-hand man to Kevin Orr, still a bankruptcy attorney with Jones Day. Governor is already asking me if you're ready to start yet. And Rich Baird spells out the terms. Annual salary, $275,000, and an 18-month contract, which is part of the emergency manager law, plus incentives if the job is completed sooner, based on mutually agreed milestones. Baird goes on to say, I do want you to know our folks are already behaving as if you've accepted the job. I need you to clue me in. Are you feeling differently? Because the boss and his team are already arranging for the church and the pastor. I need to talk them off the ledge if you tell me we are misreading the relationship. The next day, Orr writes back, I think I can see my way out of the forest and onto the path into the club of irrational acts. A few days later, Orr writes to another Jones Day attorney who is now handling Detroit's bankruptcy that Orr knows 3 others considered for the emergency manager job. One wants to stay in D.C., one was never a candidate but his name floated, and a third, but they explained they'd rather I do it. On February 27th, the day the city requested proposals from a dozen different law firms, Kevin Orr recuses himself from the Jones Day team, and the email that sheds the most light the very next day from Daniel Moss inside Jones Day. We should sit down and map out everything Kevin will need once he leaves. I'm assuming his appointment and our retention will have a decent amount of time between them, leaving Kevin a bit out in the water.
The fix is in all the way around, and it's time for the people to know exactly what's going on.
Now we know these emails are in the hands of attorneys fighting Detroit in bankruptcy court. They plan to ask the governor and others in upcoming depositions. We are going to ask Kevin Orr in 1 hour right here on Channel 7.
So was the fix in, or was the Jones Day and the gang just all getting really prepared for what seemed to be inevitable?
Well, there are 2 ways of looking at it. Certainly they were making their plans with Governor Snyder leading the way, but they did this ahead of the city council vote for the Jones Day law firm and for the emergency loan board to formally appoint Kevin Orr. So you could argue the fix was in long before it played out for public consumption.
Okay. Jim,